The Killinger French curve.
And make no mistake.
Yeah, Chiclanco. A baby Walters. Right? Lots of axe.
With the pole.
I was fighting for my life. The laser beam theme. It's his first falling job, actually, I think. To a tie. Right, friends?
Look at that sun gun.
To be a musician or to be a someone who offers their heart and their gift to the world, I'm not easily impressed, but music has changed so much through the years. I'm 57, so do you know who inspires me as a human being? Is Sade and Annie Lennox. People who, these are just a couple of options. People who have no inhibitions. They don't care what they look like when they sing. They don't care. It's just it's a gift that they want to share with the world. And music is so powerful. It's so powerful. I grew up with a musician mother and have been around it my whole life. And but that can go into any aspect, given your gift, being comfortable enough in your skin to not care. Just get up there and do it if it's something that's in you, right? So, yeah, just thought I'd say that. Sade is just a freaking gift. She's a gift. She's a smooth operator. So my mom had that quality of just sitting down with her guitar and just singing. And that's a gift. Anyways, friends, listen. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that this channel is just not about cutting trees and axes and power saws and all that thing. It's May 25th right now, and I don't know when you'll see this video. It was 20 years ago to the day. Actually, 20 years ago to the day. At this time, I was fighting for my life. I was, at this point, probably in an x-ray or an MRI. I'd been hit by a snag out falling timber. Bear Claw pulled me out of the bush, and Walker Addison and a couple of the other fellas pulled me out of the bush and got me to the hospital. And I was just looking at my phone. It's 12:41. So I think I got hit at about 8 in the morning and started crawling for my life. And so May 25th is a special day for me. It's been 20 years. And friends, I got to tell you, most of you know I'm a pretty grateful fella, pretty happy fella. I was before that too, but it's much easier for me now to grab gratitude and thankfulness. Do you know what I mean? If you can relate, if you're watching this right now and you can relate to the fact of being, could have been in the darkness emotionally, mentally, maybe you suffer from depression or something that's taken you to a dark place where you've thought to yourself that maybe it would be easier to, right? Well, I've been there. I've been there a couple times in my life. But that morning, I was a very, very strong, mentally, physically, and spiritually man. I was 36 years old, 37, I think. And I was flying. I was a beast of a man. I was strong, friends. And I had a young family. Bang. That story is on the channel. People were asking me for years to tell it, and I just didn't get around to it. And one day I told it. and it's called The Day I Almost Died in the Bush. And it is a very raw and story about that day. So that was 20 years ago today, and I just wanted to say that. And if you're here, and if you're struggling, and if you're at a point in your life where direction seems maybe not clear to you, you're right where you're supposed to be. You're right on the money. All these cliches we've heard through the years, you are right on the money. And you can create a beast. You can create, this is what, I watched a neat thing this morning. I'll end there, but I did want to say that I feel really strong right now. I said to my wife this morning, hey, honey, it was 20 years ago that I got hit. And she goes, oh my gosh. And give me a big hug and a kiss. And she goes, I says to her, I'm alive. Joking. I says, I'm alive. And she said, you're not only alive, you're actually, you're taking it to it. You're happening to life. And we talk about that on this channel, not just letting life happen to us. We're not robots, friends. We're freaking souls and spirits, and we're here for a small stint, a real small stint. So you are the creator. You are the creator. And the end of my story was not going to be, oh, did you hear about Buckin Billy Ray got smashed up by that tree? He's now a bus driver, or he's now doing something else. No. So anyway, Luke, what in the heck are you doing here? I was busy. Couldn't you see I was having a session?
Well, I seen you were having fun, but I've been in the comment section a bit.
Oh, you're not just a silent man in the back forte?
No, not just silent. I've been in the comment section a bit, and I think it's time. I know we're about to ship some axes out to Buckin stock, right?
Yeah, Buckin stock's coming right up.
I think it's time to do the collection bid.
Interesting. So that's funny. So we did the Power Saw one a while ago.
Yep.
The Power Saw collection. People really enjoyed it. If you're new here, welcome. If you're thinking about subscribing, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I'm kidding you. I'd love you to. I'd love you to subscribe. And to all the people, and I'll say this right now again. I know, Lukey, we want to get onto this thing, but please hear me in utter gratitude and humility right now. If you've been following me and you allow me in your homes with your children, and you guys can leave the room and you know that I'm not going to be swearing and cussing and fussing. I said this a couple weeks back on one of my videos. I am honored to be in your home and that you allow me into your lives. And if I'm part of your daily life, because we upload 7 days a week, just heartfelt thank you. And it means a lot to us. So thank you again. Luke, I don't know where to start, buddy. I mean, we're so friends, Buckin stock it's the 25th right now. Buckin stock's in a month.
Yep.
1 month. And I told myself this year that I would get some axes to Buckin stock. So should we just quickly show what we're sending, Luke? So I've had a couple I was gonna send. I just can't do it. This one's going, Lukey. This one's going.
Ooh, nice.
So this is a Collins legitimate that people love. Full on hammer in the hand, right? Good axe. I took some time. It was blunt. It was a snub nose axe. It's a different axe. I basically built a chopping bush axe, felling, chopping. If you're savvy with an axe, you can split wood with anything, and that I do know. But this to me is a bush axe. It's a tree felling, bucking. You know, lots of guys are now getting into this style of bucking. This is a beautiful, on a deputy Buckin special. It's actually a really nice tool, Luke, and it's a Collins legit. So it's going. I'm sending it. Now, let's talk. Friends, these are so hard. This is so hard for me to get rid of these. I'm just telling you, it just is. Paper, label. This is a Tasmanian pattern. It's a Forester, friends, from my buddy Louie. This came from Louie. It's a paper label. I think people underestimate this radius, Luke, in all axes. I mean, if you're shanking boards or building timbers, it's different. You need a flatter edge, but for splitting wood and penetrating and bucking and splitting, this radius, it helps you in your body. It smooths out the entry. It does so much for you. Lukey, this is a nice axe. Dead square on the handle, 4.5 pounds on the depth, a good solid sapwood depth handle. Just a beautiful, beautiful axe, Luke. So this is going as well. And you know what's awesome about this? Come in on that profile, Luke. You can see it. It's It's convex up and down. It's basically the wood bullet pattern, but thinner. You will not get this stuck. This is a beautiful wood splitting axe, friends. Beautiful. That was a tough one to get rid of because it's a Forster. Now, would you look at this for a minute? It's got to be HB.
I think so.
It's got to be. It's got the Get the Gullet genuine Buckin on there. Deputy handle. Friends, so again, I turned this into, Luke, a chopping axe. It's a beautiful, it's another one similar to the Collins I was talking about. Something a guy grabs and he goes out and he bucks and he splits. You can split with anything, but a thin axe is going to get stuck. If you're trying to bust through the center of a round, you just wouldn't pick that axe. Look at that tool, Luke. Broad. I like a broad pole because you get a solid haft. You get a really solid, what a great looking full bitted axe, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to Buckin stock, old school stamp. Now, we're getting into a man's axe now, not a boy's axe.
That one's not going.
I've decided, Luke. Well, I'll show you why it's going. Because look at the little nugget of gold down at the bottom. No, Luke, this is ridiculous. This is a full-on. Now listen, any of you folks that have been in and have experienced swinging the Sheriff handle, get downstairs in the comments and tell me what you think about that sucker. That's a 4.5 pound head. It feels like 5.5 out there. When you get both your hands behind the peak of the mountain, which is here. This is a different animal, Luke. I built this handle for a wood splitting handle. It is a walloper. I can't explain it, but it changes. This is different than having it. All of a sudden, it feels twice as heavy out there. This is an amazing handle. I'm proud of that. It's got a belly in it, so it feels glorious in the hands. It's one of these, friends. You know, she's a flat layer. She's a flat layer, so beautiful axe. Buckin stock bound. Ooh. If you're an axe collector and you're a GBA fan, may the dear Lord come down and rain on us today, friends. What? 4.5 pound, Buckin special on a dep, hung to the nuts. Look at the stamp on that GBA stamp, Luke. Redundi. I've used every one of these axes extensively. This is a nice axe. This is a chopping axe, an all-round, all-purpose, rip-snorting, running through the bush, just giving her axe. Glorious tool. Okay, now, Luke, we got problems. This is hard to let go of, I'll tell you that right now, but the only reason I'm going to let it go is because I got another one. This is Broad River. This is my buddy Brad. Okay? So, most of you know if you follow the channel, this is my favorite pattern of an axe of all my axes. Of all axes ever made. This is my favorite pattern. This drop down, you guys already know if you follow along, it actually protects, depending on girth, will protect your overstrike area. It's obvious, you can actually see it, Luke. It protects, it's just such a great idea. What a good looking axe. Mm-hmm. Now I've changed the radius on this a bit, Luke, and you'll notice it. See how it kind of the high center is more about up here.
Yep.
Than dead square in the middle. This is a walloping axe. Look at the profile, right? On a Sheriff. And these axes have all been swung and used by me. I'm not going all cleansy, cleany, uppy little, no, this is an axe. It's a dandy. So it's going, Luke, and dead square. It's a nice axe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what we're gonna do, and now we're talking about collection. Come on in, Luke. I mean, that's kind of where, that's where I'm Luke, I've been doing this my whole life, you know, and the internet is a really interesting place, friends. And that's why I always am so gratitude for people's viewership, because you can be watching frauds. You can be watching anything you want. When I first came to YouTube, it was about just going to work. That's all it was for me. It's just going to work. Not telling you need to do nothing or you need to click the link downstairs and buy me buy this and buy that. It was about, I'm just going to work. I just wanted to gain, I don't think the word's respect, but I wanted you folks to see that this was my job. This wasn't something I thought I'd come to YouTube and say, hey, look at me. It was my job. And I wanted my kids and Luke now put a ring on Rita's finger. So one day they're going to have kids. So I'm more of a legacy man. This is a legacy channel for me. So that's the facts of it. So again, I'm rambling, but Luke, I'm going to grab this right now because I'm jumping way ahead. I'm literally coming to the back of the evolution to where we've ended up, to where I've ended up in axes and what I believe to be just an all around. I mean, Luke, if you look around, you can kind of get the feel of where I live and where I come from. That is a big pole for banging wedges. Look at the size of the pole on that axe. That's a German axe. And as a matter of fact, maybe I will dance back. Maybe I will go here. Maybe I will talk about this. The German wedge banger that has been so many places. So again, this pattern, Luke, is what I'm talking about. This pattern. That's my old school. That was the first axe Hogan ever banged a wedge with, Luke, that one. But this is what I've been calling the deputy and playing around with. And again, it's this drop down, but this is a neat piece. This one, Luke, this is all purpose. It's got a nice, somebody called it a sickle, like a sickle blade. It's got a nice radius. It's probably 6 inches a bit. All purpose, yes, but you know, that all purpose thing, if I'm going chopping, I'm grabbing 15, 17 degrees of a you know what I mean? I'm not going to grab an all purpose axe. I'm grabbing a chopper. And if I'm going splitting wood, I'm grabbing a splitting wood axe. So that's just kind of my thought process. But there are crossovers. Did you see this?
You did actually show me that.
I touched it up a little bit, but he sent me this out of the goodness of his heart because I bought their other one, which wasn't the greatest in our wood, but I wanted to see what they had and try this. This is beautiful. This is all purpose. Like that to me is like an all purpose type of a swinger, right?
Yep.
Nice sharp entry. Gonna do it all. It'll do it all. So anyway, I'm jumping all over, Luke, but there's nothing new there. I think what I'm going to do is go here. I want to talk about something here right now. Now this little rack here. There's some interesting pieces on this little rack. I'm getting hot. Time to let the love out. You only live once. Remember when we took this out, Luke? Mm-hmm. So friends, I like to have my own experience. Yes, listen to others, but I like to have my own experience, and I've said for you guys to have your own experience as well, like a purge bulb on a power saw. Maybe if there's gas in it and there's no air bubbles in it, maybe try and start the saw without purging it. Why? Well, because that way you can learn about your saw. So I'm one of those guys. I like to learn, and this has been a profile. This is actually a very neat axe. I won't go there yet. We'll come back to it. Let's go to this sucker right here. Okay. Friends, where I come from, we didn't have these. These Tasmanian patterns were not here. This is when I first started to get an understanding of the Tasmanian pattern axe. This is all on the channel, friends. This is all on the channel. So we'll call this a collection video, but I mean, there's a long evolution here, Luke. Killinger. This is when Killinger was into the hickory and he was into some beautiful handles. And I've got a bunch of his stuff here still, friends. Killinger original 32s and original 28s. They're hiding in a special little spot over there. So Killinger, thanks to you, buddy. This is a worn down, beat up Dandenong. What in the heck is that? But do you know what this is, Luke? This is the epitome of what I call the woodshed buddy. This will destroy wood. You'll never get it stuck. Friends, look at HB. Look at that axe, Luke. This is one of my favorite axes. They just are. Red Elm, Killinger 28, same handle, but in red elm, okay? This is when I started to push the limits of heavy heads on thin handles. That was when I was starting to do that, and I've got a couple I'll show you right now that are interesting. But this is red elm. But Luke, I mean, I think it's hopefully people understand what the better wood splitting axe is and what the better tree chopping down axe is, or bucking axe. The thin stuff will buck. Chopping is cross grain. Splitting is turning rounds into 4 pieces. Splitting. Chopping is chopping a tree down, or bucking, cross grain. Okay, friends? These are just a bunch of old axes that I've had kicking around, but that is wild. It's just weird looking.
I like it.
It is. It's a stubby and magic in the wood,
yeah.
Luke. It's magic in the wood. So that's kind of what happened there, I went on this journey, and I've been gifted many axes through the years. You know, I've done some interesting things. This is actually a very cool axe. Check out that. Firestone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful, and it's written like the Firestone tires. It's the same font and everything. I have no idea, know the history. I don't. If anybody knows, let me know. I have evolved so much, but this is a long-handled. Oh, look at it, Luke. I got Stamp Happy on it. Buckin Spash, freaking Be Kind stamps all over this thing. But make no mistake, the further you are away from your object, the more freaking power and swing you can get going, but your accuracy can suffer if you're not savvy with the tool. That's why I say longer handles are better for ground splitting, and your 28, 26, 28, 30 chopping block is good. But would you not agree, Luke?
Yep.
The longer the handle, the better for ground splitting. This axe, out in the bush cutting trees down, would be fantastic. But it's long, and you'd get a lot more power than you would with, say, a 24, 26, 28. It's just physics. It's like a whip. So that's that. I do want to share this. I rehung this axe. Luke, this axe is a Helco. My 4-pound Helco. Listen to it. It's so thin, Luke. This is probably one of my best chopping axes. We're going to talk about this. Can you see that, Luke?
It's quite flat.
I'll turn this on edge. Look at that. The only place there's any convexity is literally at the end there and at the end right there. This, if you drove this into a piece of wood to try and split this firewood, this is not a firewood axe. Look at how flat this goes, Luke. Flat, flat, flat. There. It's starting to get hollow now as you go up. See it there?
Yep.
The space up here? So this is a flat axe. Chopper, friends. Chopper. Beautiful axe. You can see I haven't moved this in a while. I got my old hard hats here. Picture of my boy when he was green up there. That was his first falling job, actually, I think. I think that was when we were up at Bobby's there. Me and him, if I'm not mistaken. What a cherished picture. Now what's that, Luke?
Oh, that might be one of your nicest.
Oh, is that right, Lucky Axe Brad? So, isn't making axes fun, Luke?
Oh yeah.
It really is, and it's been a freaking, not an epidemic, but man, oh man, the internet, people love doing this. It's huge on Instagram. All the axe hafters, all the people that have been doing this for years, and it's fun. It's a neat thing. But I'm a swinger. Yes, I've got axes hanging around and that, and they're special, but I build them to swing them. And I'm not afraid to swing vintage, beautiful axe heads and handles. But Luke built this axe, and I started swinging it. It's a hollow ground, Luke, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge hollow. You can see it in the light. It's a Sub-Zero Vaughn, yep. Is beauty. So on an NEC, skinny little whiskey rib NEC, I do prefer a bigger palm swell myself. I feel like I'm going to lose that out of my hands, just me. But a beautiful little handle nonetheless. Got to show you something, Luke. This is glorious. I have a connection to Walters because Walters, it was Canadian. This is a baby Walters fire axe, Luke. And it is beautiful. So, do you know the very neat thing about this? I will show this again. All I've done, any axes I do now going forward, I can't see how I would even, because I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a hewer of wood. Like that up there, Luke, that broad axe, that was a gift, right? I'm not that guy. I'm not a bushcrafter. I'm a freaking wood splitting, chopping, tree cutting downer type dude. I like to hit things. That's why I'm a drummer. You see this, Luke? Most vintage axes are high centered, which means they kind of are cupped like this. Like, Luke, we got one the other day. We're going way back now, and I'm going to show this right now. You can see it looking at it, can't you? Look at the top plate, Luke. Like, you can literally see the sides of the axe beyond the top plate. This thing's crazy. Look at, Look at the space there, Luke. All the way up and all the way down. You're not getting this axe stuck, Luke. It's not getting stuck. So I'm a huge advocate of that, but I wanted to share that little axe. That's a collector's piece there for me. I don't collect many, but that to me is a collector. It's just a beauty. My favorite axe company in the world still to this day is HB, Halsbrook. I love them. They're the oldest. Look at this, Luke. This is a beautiful rendition of a boy's axe right there. I just showed you an HB the same, but look at that stamp, Luke. Little boy's axe. Just GBA beauty on a freaking, I don't even know what that is, that handle, but it is glorious and skinny. Like, yeah. So beautiful little axe. Friends, when I started to get into, because of the internet helped me with that, chopping. Like I didn't chop a lot of trees down. I was a faller. Use a power saw, right? With the internet, you're building content, you're having fun, you know what I mean? Woo! I need to share this as well. This is wild. This is Grant's Force as well. But look what happened to that thing. I mean, it came to me like this.
Wow.
Yeah, just crazy. And you want to talk about thin? It was broken, welded. The axe broke, and some guy welded it. He actually got it straight. I couldn't believe it. But it's thin. It's probably 14, 15 degrees, Luke. Like it's nothing but a chopping axe. There's nothing, you're not splitting wood with that. Okay. So as you can see, there's dust. So these are just some collector's pieces. Okay, here we go. We gotta get this guy out of here first. Do you know what's crazy about this little axe? So what I was going to say to you is when I started chopping trees, all these guys are using boys' axes to cut trees down and chop trees down because it's light. This is actually a beautiful axe. This is a Craftsman, Luke. Look at that. It's a Craftsman's boys' axe. Sharp, beautiful. I took this out chopping trees, but friends, they're too light. The boys' axes, they're too light. They're fun and they're handy and they just are what they are. I love them and they're very handy. But if I'm chopping something down, if I'm going to be chopping a tree down or, bucking a log, I'm running 4 pounds and up. That's just what I'm doing. There it is. Okay. This is a special axe for me. This was one, it's a dandy. It's not in terrible shape. I believe it's a Canadian dandy. But when I started to swing these axes, it is a Canadian dandy. Like, I mean, you're just not getting it stuck. It's not going to happen. Colby Owen handle, Buckin, straight up custom Buckin, because I broke my Buckin Billy Ray stamp, my Buckin special stamp, and I ended up with Buckin left. So I still have that stamp. This is glorious. 28-inch woodshed buddy. Short handle, skookum little axe. Now, I'm going to actually leave that down for a sec. Don't forget about this, Luke. Don't forget about your 10-pound sledgehammer, your Eagle Eye. That's your 10-pound maul. You ever seen one of these, friends? Look at that sun gun. Look at the pole on it. What is going on? Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
So, we haven't even talked about double bits, but the bluegrass. So, where I come from, no jerseys. Friends, no jerseys. We just didn't have them here. We didn't have them here. You guys in the Americas, in the States and that, you had axe companies freaking everywhere building this jersey pattern. This is a beautiful axe. Bluegrass. Belknap. Matter of fact, I got a little thing over there. I think that's Belknap on the wall, Lukey. Very nice. Very nice axe. I really like this design. So this is Decal's favorite axe. Look at this axe, Luke. I want to share this with you. This is a home hardware. This is in the beginning, friends. This is. Somebody sent me this. I think it was Mikey Heisman. Mikey, how are you, brother? Would you look at that? Is that not attractive?
Mm-hmm.
Heartwood handle, Luke. Watcood to the nines. Look at it. Looks like a piece of marble. Heartwood. Solid as a rock. This thing works beautiful. But look what happens. Look what happens when you start to wear an axe down, Luke. It becomes a better wood splitter. But you can see this theme, Luke, of, see how they they push these sides out for friction, so you're not getting stuck in the wood. It's just real neat. Well, speaking of that, look at this. The Phantom Babs. So it rocks on this thing. It's actually a smart idea. Now, I'm going to show one more jersey. It's all in the filing. It's all in the filing, friends, and it's all in the grind, just like power saws. This is a Tom Lely axe, I believe. And when I got sent this axe, this has got the dimensions, Luke, that I really like. Look at the jers, right? So, to be honest with you, I mean...
Exactly.
They did this for a reason, friends. And this is a beautiful, beautiful axe. But Tom understood, whether someone else did that, but Tom understood that you've still got to be sharp. You can't have a snub nose to split. That is a nice looking axe. Tom did a fantastic job. It's light, but it's beautiful in the wood. So, glorious axe. Yeah. So, there's a whole bunch of them, but we've been around the bend there. Double bits, I've got some stuff that I haven't got to back in here. But I've got some special pieces, Luke. Like I've got, believe it or not, that was kind of the laser beam theme. You know, just a beat up old carcassed double bit. I love double bit axes. A lot of people don't know the use and the thought behind the double bit. But here's just a beautiful, beautiful Belknap jersey pattern axe. But this is a tree felling axe, Luke, and a bucking axe. It's a sharp axe. Is it all purpose? Sure, you call it what you want. I call that a thin bucking or felling axe. This is a forestry felling axe. That's what that is to me. You would sharpen that tree up, that axe up, and you would go out and you would fall a tree, limb it, and you would buck it with this very axe right here. That's what you would do. But I would change this. This is it's too much contact at one time. It would be a little hard on the elbows and stuff. I would create a radius there just to get things started. So that's what I would do with that. That is a beautiful axe. I'm trying to think of some special. We had some gifts through the years. This guy here sent me one. He put it on backwards because he thought it would be a good wedge banger. See what that is, Luke? Shabango.
Shaklanko.
Or Shaklanko, yeah. Yeah, Shaklanko. So, pretty cool, right? Just people being kind. I love it. Yeah, he's got it all crazied up with some, you know. People are so kind, man. So lots of history here. Lots of freaking history. But then as friends, as I got into, you know, once I found these, right? The Tasmanian pattern axe, everything really, really changed for me. And a few years back because of how good they were for our wood, splitting our wood. The best axe around here, believe it or not, we used mauls. And then this axe came onto the scene for shake blockers. And I actually just did a video, Luke, how to hybrid this thing, how to get it a little nicer in the hands. I took the back off the handle. It's a big chunky handle. So I peeled this out of here. So I like a nice spot there for it kicks the axe back a bit too. It's just nice. But I high centered this a little more than it is out of the factory. It's an HB 5-star, beautiful, legendary axe. Around here, this is a legendary axe. But make no mistake, it's not sold as a falling or a split axe. It's a felling axe. This is a felling axe. So I've done some, you'll probably see it there, Luke.
Yep.
I've convexed it a bit. I've pulled, well, you can literally see it, Luke. I pulled this down and out. See that? And here, pulled this down and out and created to try and get that axe to move a bit better in the wood. So that's that. But I got to show you something else, Luke, that I built the other day that I'm bonkers over. I had Christine send me 3 or 4 beautiful sheriffs. Look at this axe, Luke. Just look at that beautiful piece of history from HB. I ground it. It's on a heartwood handle. Look at that thing. It's just beautiful. It's 4 3/4 pounds, friends. 4 3/4 pounds at, I would think, knowing me, yep, it is. It's 22.5 degrees. So you're biting wood. You're backed up by convexity. and you're fatter than the newer ones. So you've got yourself right here right now with the long handle, 34 inches. I reckon this axe, look at a little Buckin stamp down the bottom. Look at this, full on 33 to the nut. So you've got a good swinging axe here. And I like the longer axes, Luke, and I will rave about this handle to the day I'm done. I am so proud of this handle, and that's up to Jonesy, because Jonesy sent me, I remember when I was making the wood bullet, and Jonesy sent me this. Have we had this in a video recently, Luke?
Yep.
This, friends, the history behind this wood bullet is mind-blowing. This is where the handle came from, friends. This long, slender peak of the mountain. You can get both your hands behind the peak of the mountain, which acts as a fulcrum, and this now becomes heavier. And you can get behind this with all you got. Just talk to Bluegrass Outdoors. Ask him how he likes that thing. He's one of the best hand wood splitters on the internet. That's Bluegrass Outdoors. Go have him a gander. Nice fella. But what I mean by the difference of that, Luke, here's a flag. Here's a beautiful flagship. There's a special handle. I'm going to do something nice with that. But this is actually a beautiful handle. But here's the difference. I'll put it in front. This is what I mean by the peak of the mountain is different, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like you're not getting, you are, but that's the end. Like that. Now you're straight. See, from my hands, it's straight now from both my, and I hang on way back here, Luke. Some guys will be like this with this axe. I'm like this. So this is wonderful. But this, I will never stop raving about that program. It's just been an incredible addition to my stuff. Now, we got to go there. We got to go there, friends. When I started talking about bringing the wood bullet to people, and I had this idea in my mind of making a good wood splitting axe, which came to me from the Tasmanian pattern heads. There was a whole bunch of axes, the predecessors to the wood bullet. I've got them all here. There's a whole story. We'll probably do another video on that, Luke. A young blacksmith reached out to me. He was 16 years old. He was a hammer maker. He didn't know much about axes. Actually, not a lot at all. And I taught him and walked him through, and we worked together. And he, I was teaching him about profile and what I need, because I can't have this axe get stuck. We all know a wedge is going to, look at the Fiskars. It splits wood. It's a wedge. But it didn't have the convexity. We went all through that. But anyways, look at the evolution of the wood bullet. This was one of the first. Then he sent me, he only ended up doing about, I think 6 or 8. And it just, he couldn't get it. He just went away. This is the best axe I got from him. So you could see he was starting to get it, Luke. He was starting to get it. He was using a press. He's doing much better now, I think. This is one of the best axes I got from him. But isn't that amazing, Luke? Going from that with the pole, with a stamp, the right way, by this man, Mr. Liam Hoffman. The best wood splitting axe in the world. Right there. You see the difference, eh?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the work is... But you got to hand it to the young fella for reaching out and trying. So that has been a really, really neat process. I've learned so much. I've worked with a few blacksmiths now. But this thing, notice the handle, Luke? She gets a little work. You give this a good run the other day.
Oh, I grab that thing a lot now.
Well, I told you I don't care if we break this handle. Mm-hmm. Jonesy, you'll always have a soft spot in my heart, buddy. This handle's outrageous. So... But for Hoffman and I selling the axe to the public, we had to think like Husky when they build a saw. It's got to run in Hawaii. It's got to run in Iceland. It's got to run in Sweden. It's got to run on the coast of BC. So I had to bend a bit there, and I was glad I did, because the handle we went with is basically this handle here, Luke. That's the wood bullet handle right there, except we talked about that before. We straightened this back out because I do a lot of ground splitting. And my handles, I kick my heads back sometimes. If you even look at this axe, Luke, this axe actually kicks back.
Yeah, it does actually a bit.
It does. It kicks back. And I don't mind it because I'm not hitting my target until down here. It makes sense, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So that's just me. But not everybody's me. So we nailed it with that thing, and I'll stand by it. It's the best wood splitting axe you can buy on the market is the Wood Bullet, sold at hoffmanblacksmithing.com. And I love that thing, and I'm proud of it. So anyway, but Brad, we can't not talk about Brad, my buddy Broad River. He had a swing at it too, and so did Tim. And I've got all those axes, Lukey. Look at Timmy's work. Tim the blacksmith. I like Tim. Good guy. We had a run. I was new at this, friends. I didn't know much about the blacksmith world and all of this and that. But Timmy does nice work. Timmy does nice work. But that wasn't going to be the Wood Bullet either, right? So it's just amazing. Well, a big shout out to Broad River because he was part of this journey too. And some of my finest axes are Broad River axes. And that's Brad. And as gnarly as it looks, Luke, it is a destroyer of the wood.
Well, we should almost bring out that one I like so much.
Oh, you want to
too.
get, okay, well that one there, I'll show you right now that one. Now that is a story in itself, Luke. That sucker, it's right here. Okay, now this axe, and actually, Luke, here's another one.
Yes.
These are both Wood Bullets. That's an axe. That's an axe. It's going to do it. This is a nice axe. This is a little thinner, this one, but make no mistake, this will do everything you need to do. You need to pick up a piece of wood. You don't want to bend down. Full flank. Up she comes onto the chopping block and whoop, whoop, whoop. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's a Broad Riff. Right? So these are all prototypes, Luke. That's all they are. But back to what Luke was talking about. Oh, this thing here, Luke. Do you know what I've learned so much on this journey? I'll tell you right now. A radius will enter wood way smoother and softer than a straight edge.
That's why that works so good, because that thing's fat.
Dude, look at how fat it is. But why is it so smooth on
I know.
entry? Remember how we hung this one, Luke?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was meant for that other weird axe.
From the Canadian Tire.
No, it was meant for the one that we did for chess.
Oh, that's right.
We tried it on
that
there.
crazy German thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But are you what? That right there, Luke? Well, this is one of your favorite axes.
Yeah, it is.
You know, through the years, okay, I gotta talk about this. Friends, do you remember? This is tough. This is tough. I just about sent this to Buckin stock, but I don't think I'm ready yet. I might, I'm not sure. Does anybody remember? This is when I started hanging 4.5 pound axes on the French curve. The Killinger French curve, okay, friends? It's a beautiful handle. I leave mine big stubs like this. I like these like this. But friends, I took a little file because I was doing these, right, to save the overstrike. But it kept sliding down. So I'm like, I took a little file and I put little grooves in there. And I'm going to tell you, there were so many people that said, you just wrecked that axe. You're going to break that thing's going to snap. Do you know how many massive fur rounds I've clobbered with this thing? I put it away because it's just, I love this axe so much. It is a sign of a change in the channel and the change in my thought process. And I think it's an HB, Luke. 4.5 pounds or 4 pounds. It's a 4 pound axe. Came out as a 4 pound axe. I don't know what brand it is actually. But HB did some stuff that they didn't stamp. Back in the day, they would make it for different companies. So that's got a big piece of history here. And then, of course, I've been working with blacksmiths. I mean, freaking. You know, again, this is what else do you need? Luke? So, I'm learning so much. And it's only in the wood. It's not by reading no book or listening to some other YouTuber. What he said, it's in the wood. I need to have my own experience. This is that hickory, Luke, that is bonkers. It's that heartwood that we got. It's tough as nails, this stuff. This is a beautiful axe. Gagnon got one.
Yes.
It's his favorite axe. So these are so hard for me to get rid of, friends. They just are, because I love swinging them. So I've learned more, friends. I've learned more. I'll tell you right now. And I've learned more lately about chopping than I've ever known. And I'm learning more. And I'm talking to lots of guys in Australia and competition swingers. And I'm starting to understand the hollow a bit and how the axe works in the wood, not splitting. That I got a pretty good grasp on. I'm talking chopping now. So I'm learning more about that. I just built this axe the other day. It's a Broad River. It came to me quite thin. Again, the pattern is just, Luke, this is, if I'm not mistaken, I took this out the other day. It's coming to the channel for you axe guys that like that type of thing. Okay, it's borderline 17 degrees,
Yep.
Luke, isn't it?
Pretty much is.
Look at, so, right? That's thin. That's real thin. And I went at it with a maple the other day, and then I had a couple at 22. Oh my goodness, just like butter. It's physics. I like me axes, Luke, but you'll see a theme in here. It's just you won't see me stray from that pattern. This is a wild axe, this one. What do you want to know about a skinny handle, Luke? So we've made a couple chopping axes recently that have been on the channel that have, oh my yay. Look at this gift that came the other day. You know, I guess I could go up here, Luke. We've got some gifts that came to the channel. This gentleman, he used to follow me years ago. He gave me his actual fire axe. They get a fire axe when they go through fire school. I think it's Morales. Forget his first name. Nice guy. I couldn't believe it. He sent that to me.
Wow.
Yeah, and I took it as such an honor. So it hangs in there with, I think his name was Morales or something. I forget his name at this time. It'll come to me. Such a nice dude. But these are just some special axes. That fire axe up there, Luke, look at that true temper. And make no mistake, that thing is a destroyer of the wood. The fire axe. BC government double bit right there, cruiser. Double bit cruiser, BC Gov. We got some gifts over here from interesting things. We got a wild and crazy Sammy Dean's axe. These are just people, friends, that came to the channel. They're very supportive. They come on like firecrackers, and I'll see them in the live feeds, and then they hang around the channel, and they're gone. And I don't change, though. I just leave it up there. That axe has been sitting there. I called it the Sammy Dean's axe. And Sammy Dean, I'll always love you, buddy. Jeff Schroeder. I met Jeff Schroeder at, he's this big YouTuber guy now. He's got this tree service. He used to work for Hunnicky, August Hunnicky. He's this big YouTuber now. This is his axe. I either bought it or he gifted me one. I think he gifted me one.
That's a nice one. I always like that one.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Head,
axe.
yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I think that's a Killinger handle. It is. True temper, Connie. See it?
Yep.
So, Schroeder, you're a good man. Love it. Anyway. There's so much more. There's so much more. My Tuies from Raymond. He gave Hogan and I both one, the Tui work axe. So, if you look at those and you take measurements off of those and you look and you see what's actually happening, if I could show you something right now, friends, which I'm going to. We're going out right now. We're taking this out. You know what I've really learned, Luke, lately? Is that our woods are so different. One of the world's finest axe people, Tuatai. Right, friends? Tui, the guys. They call this the work axe. And it is that. But it's a chopper. It's a chopper. And if you know how to swing an axe, you can split wood with this just fine. But for the average Joe wanting to go at a big round, I want to show you what a high centerlined axe can do for you. This is an HB, an old HB, 4.5 pound Tasmanian pattern, like an Arvika. But I did some extensive grinding on it. And you can see where I ground, and you can see where I didn't grind. And you can actually see the temper line in it. See it, Luke?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that neat?
Yep.
You could get the biggest, strongest man. Now, remember, Luke, we're getting some mushy wood now because we've hammered it 50,000 times. Once in a while, we'll take a cut off and freshen it up. But I just want to share something with folks real quickly, and we won't take up much more of your time. Too tight. Now, I'm just going to 50, 60% it. Okay, I just want to share something with you, friends. Right? Thwap. Pretty good hit. Oh, This axe is actually loose. If you look here. See it moving?
Yeah.
But that's not the axe's fault, friends. That's been sitting in there for freaking 3 years up there, not getting used. But here's my point. Like she's tight, Lukey. She's tight, and this is all soggy. But it's in there, Luke. I hope that it'll come. There it comes. There it comes. So beautiful axe. Watch this, Luke. High center. So it rides on that. I think we all know this, friends. So this is actually a better splitting axe than that is. I hate to say it. It is. But there's also something else in factor, which I don't think a lot of people think about, is look at that pitch, Luke. Oh, oh my. Oh, if you've never smelt the fir pitch, lovely. Now, you've got 7 freaking inches of steel from heel to toe. And if there's no convexity, it's grabbing wood from here to there. Well, on this axe, it's only grabbing wood like from here to here. So you know what I mean, Luke, by that? Mm-hmm. It just is. It's physics. It's all it is. So that kind of, like right away, it's, you know. Oh my. So this is what plays into my brain when I'm thinking about axes. Fantastic company, awesome axe, but it is a work axe for chopping timber, cross-cutting timber, like this, Luke. It's this style of axe, chopping trees. Like it's a monster and beautiful. It's gonna chop my woodshed down here a second. Most of my thought process goes, because I'm a wood splitter guy, goes, or my R&D, I would say, goes into release of wood, not the actual chopping of it, if that makes sense. But I wanted to share that little bit of business with you. Now, one more thing. My latest experiment, I want to thank Sneddon's. Matt, directly to you, your dad, Steve, and Linda is the mother. I bought this axe. I got it from Sneddon's, friends. This company is a family-owned business in Australia, and I really like these people. Steve's kind of my style of guy. He's the old school. But anyways, I want to shout these guys out. They make great products. Their edges are nuts. It's an old cast, combination of cast and forging. It's very interesting, which creates an incredible edge. So this axe came to me a while ago, and it got stuck in our wood pretty good. Luke, I went to town on this thing. It's thin. Take a look at how thin this axe is.
Yeah, super thin.
So I'm not, friends, I'm not telling you guys information that hasn't been out there since the freaking 1800s. I'm just applying it to my tools. Like I'm driving that, Luke. This thing before, it would stick. So I'm learning so much, friends. And all I done is look at the old axes from the 1800s and the early 1900s. And they all have this high center line, almost like a cup. Like, look at the wood bullet, Luke.
Yep.
It's literally convex both ways, and it destroys wood, but it's got to be sharp to enter. So that's where all my thought process went. So I kind of cranked this out here, cranked that out there, and left a little spot in the middle. I'm excited to swing this. Sneddon's. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Luke, I think that's pretty good, isn't it, for this video? We covered the Buckin stock thing. We covered that I'm alive and we're alive, and that the present moment for me now is probably the most important thing. I don't worry too much about the future, and I don't worry too much about what I've done in the past. But make no mistake, the gratitude for me now and the thankfulness and all that stuff does come from those dark times. It's easier for me to grab gratitude. You know when somebody says to you when you're whining and complaining about something, and one of the people, like your grandfather, your uncle, says, "There's always somebody worse off than you. Get your straighten up, Lukey," or whatever. There's always somebody worse off than you. You know that old saying? Well, it's a cliche for a reason. So I don't know. I just love to see people kind of rise up out of the dirt and like the phoenix and live again, whether that be mentally, spiritually, bankruptcy, and they come around and they see the light again, and they become better and create a new person. So that's more a part of the channel for me that's important, is sharing that message with people. And for me, it started with sobering up, getting off the substances, and starting to give actually instead of take. So for me now, I'm looked after. I'm looked after. I know it. I have to be. I'm here. So it's really simple for me nowadays, friends. So I'm glad we took some time and shared some of the act stuff with you. I've been doing this stuff my whole life, and the internet has been a gift to me, and it's a gift to all of us if we use the shiny side of it, which to me, I've always said it's a tool of peace. The internet is. It's a tool of peace. So let's use it for that. Work hard, be honest, be kind, and thank you again for allowing me in your homes. I mean it sincerely. We'll see you on the next one. Okay. Well, I wasn't sure I was going to do this, Luke. The video's over. Is that would yeah? So we had this one sitting off, friends. Do you remember this axe? Let me pull out the Deej, and if you haven't experienced this stuff yet, this DGP all-purpose oil, it's biodegradable for one. Watch what happens here. Okay. You know who uses this freaking stuff? Jason Lentz, world champion, freaking timber sports athlete, monster of a man. He's winning races with this stuff. The Deej is special, man. Look at this, Luke. Look at what just happened to this. So, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I built this on a live feed. I built this axe on a live feed. Luke, this was your favorite axe for a while. I mean, look at Luke. Right? This one's a little longer, the one on the right. Brad does fantastic work. I love his axes. His axes are some of my favorite, Luke. So we've decided to let this one go because I've been hanging on to it. And the only reason I was hanging on to it is because it's got a little special piece and it works like crazy, Luke. Like the bit is nice. The bit is nice. I can feel it. Now I know why it splits wood and chops and does everything. So we're going to let this one go at Buckin stock. And if you're wondering what Buckin stock is or when it is, it's in 1 month, June 26th, 7th, and 28th in Peru, Indiana. Buckets are at buckandbillyray.com for your tickets. We'll see you down at Indiana. You might walk home with this axe. You just might if you want to. See you on the next one.